Thank you for spending some time joining us for the Student Impact Grant presentations featuring the Winter and Spring Grant 2021 grant recipients. My name is Isabel Houselog. I am the Student Advancement Network Vice President of Communications. During my time with the Student Advancement Network, I've had the opportunity to participate in the Student Impact Grant Selection Committee to help recommend projects like what you will be seeing today for funding. It is amazing to see the creativity and passions of my fellow students, and I'm excited to see what they have to share with you all today. Student Impact Grants exist to provide funding for a variety of University of Iowa graduate and undergraduate student activities outside the classroom, such as research, travel, and service projects. The goal is to enable students to pursue opportunities that might not otherwise be possible without financial assistance. The President's Office has generously allocated funding from the Iowa Impact Fund each semester to help enhance the student experience through these grants. The designated funds come from generous philanthropic gifts made by alumni and friends who have chosen to provide unrestricted support to the university.
Hi everyone, my name is Brady Kakert and I'm representing UI Hyperloop. I'm the operations lead, essentially a treasurer, as well as mechanical team co-lead for this organization. So for starters, what is Hyperloop? Essentially, Hyperloop is a revolutionary new concept for high-speed and sustainable transportation developed by Elon Musk, who basically said he didn't have time for it, so left it up for universities like us in the private sector to develop this technology. However, his company SpaceX does hold an annual international competition where Hyperloop teams, especially university teams, can come and test their concepts. So essentially, Hyperloop entails a pod inside of a near vacuum tube that can reach speeds up to 700 miles per hour in the absence of aerodynamic drag, traffic, and obstacles. And so UI Hyperloop wants to enter that SpaceX competition with the design we've been working on for over 2 years now. So a little bit more about UI Hyperloop, or Hyperloop at UI Iowa. We are undergoing a name change to Hyperloop at Iowa, and we're a relatively new student organization made up of engineers across different disciplines, mainly mechanical, computer science and engineering, and electrical engineering. We all have a common goal of developing the sustainable technology. So since the beginning of the last academic year, we've been designing our Hyperloop pod mainly from scratch. We're not looking at buying other components. We want to design everything in-house to get our members that unparalleled hands-on experience, which you just can't quite get in a classroom. And so since the beginning of the pandemic, we've been meeting virtually, but this summer we are hoping to manufacture our pod in person. So here's some examples of our work. In the top right picture, you can see the exterior shell of our design. So this is what you would see in competition. And on the bottom right, this is an example of the overall assembly of the interior of our design. This is the chassis made out of stainless steel, and you can see our batteries, linear actuators, and motors in there as well. So that's some good examples of what our mechanical team has worked on. Our systems team, which is made up of the computer science and electrical engineers, they have a lot of experience programming sensors. They have built and managed our website as well as our social media. And our mechanical team has used Creo Parametric that the university has let us use. And that's a great industry tool that most mechanical engineers will use out in the field. And so our members are given leadership experience through executive positions. Everybody's working on a sustainable technology research and development project. And the collaboration experience can't be overlooked because every engineer is going to have to be collaborative in the field. So these are the competitions we're looking at entering, the main one being the National SpaceX Hyperloop competition, and actually that is international now. That was changed. So that's where Elon Musk and SpaceX engineers would attend, and you can use their Hyperloop tube to enter your pod into and see what speed you can get it up to. So that's really like a feasibility testing, and it's kind of at the forefront of this technology where these universities get to test out their designs. Another option is a European Hyperloop Week, which this year is in Valencia, Spain, which is more of like a week-long conference with some exhibitions and competitions towards the end of the week. But the SpaceX Hyperloop competition is the main one that we're looking into, and unfortunately it was canceled this summer, but we are hoping to get our current design, which will be 3 years in the works, and finished by next summer, so we would enter the summer 2022 competition. So with SIG funds, most have been allocated to our systems team. So far they've been able to use various sensors and electrical components, get some hands-on experience coding and developing some of the electrical components of our overall system to be incorporated with the entire pod itself. And then our mechanical team components, those are planned to be purchased. We have renderings of a stainless steel chassis and a rendering of one electrical motor, so we can actually get some testing done, some feasibility testing, and get some crude estimates on what maximum velocity we could reach. So if you want to learn anything more about UI Hyperloop, you can scan this QR code and it'll take you to our website. From there, there's additional links to our social media sites. And if you have any specific questions, you can feel free to email me at the email below. Thank you so much.
We are now going to address questions from our audience. Brady, what got you interested in the Hyperloop project specifically?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've always been really into sustainability and renewable energy. So like I'm an intern at a renewable energy startup right now. So seeing sustainable transportation, environmental research opportunity at a student organization really caught my interest. And so that's why I joined it immediately my first semester at the university and tried to get an executive position and try to progress this forward.
And we have a follow-up question for you as well. What other projects or research would you like to pursue in the future?
Definitely more renewable energy research. I'm also in the American Wind Energy Association at the university. So that kind of sustainability energy field is something that I'm really passionate about, and that's why I'm representing this club today.
So this concludes our presentations. Thank you all for joining us. If you or someone you know is interested in applying for a future student impact grant, the spring application will be opening in August 2021. Feel free to reach out to Katie Harris with the UI Center for Advancement if you have any questions. And lastly, there are student resources available to you year-round at foriowa.org. Use the QR code on the screen or visit foriowa.org to learn more about the student impact grants, the Student Advancement Network, and more. Thank you again to all of our presenters, and thank you all for joining us this evening. On Iowa, and go Hawks!